With the price of Bitcoin skyrocketing and web wallet hacks in the recent news, security is clearly an important issue in Bitcoin. Joining me today to talk about white hat solutions to black hat problems, Esben Friis Jensen and Jacob Hansen are the founders of CrowdCurity. Gentlemen, thanks for speaking with us.
Thank you.
So your company, CrowdCurity, consults on security issues, but in a rather unconventional way. Can you explain your process?
What we're basically doing is using the concept of bug bounty programs. Some of you might be familiar with the bug bounty program that Coinbase is running, where they are openly inviting skilled security testers to kind of report vulnerabilities on Coinbase app, and then in return they can get rewards. Basically, what CrowdCurity does is we take this kind of concept and then we provide the structure for the company to kind of do it. So instead of creating their own bug bounty program, they go to our site and create it with us. The benefits of kind of doing it with us instead of doing it on your own site, because you still get the benefit of vulnerability submissions by doing it on your own site. So if you don't decide to do it with us, we of course recommend to do it anyhow. By doing it with us, you get a structure, you get a best practice rule set, you get payment management. We handle the payments. We also handle all the tax rules which comes with the payments. So we are talking about testers from all over the world. So there are different tax rules related to that. And we take care of that, and we only send one invoice to the customer. That's some of the things. We're also handling tester questions. Sometimes there are some questions the tester might have about the test, and we're kind of the first level support to handling that. So we're taking away a lot of the admin from the businesses.
Basically, what you're doing here is you're putting out bounties, you're putting out rewards for people who can figure out ways to break the site. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so your company is providing an infrastructure level for this so that companies, when they want to do this, don't have to reinvent the wheel. Instead, they just come to you. You've already got a system in place that works. You've already got a community that, is making money from you, I imagine. So I imagine that you probably have some of the same testers working on one project as another just because it's connected through you.
That's correct. I mean, at the moment, we have around 400 testers signed up via our platform. One can think of it as a bit as crowdsourcing IT security in the way that if you start a reward program, we will go and market that toward the testers. And within a fairly short while, you'll have a lot of testers, security testers, inspecting your site and providing a crowdsourced security test of your site. Of course, the benefit from the testers in this case is that if they find something that might be vulnerable or harmful to a business site, then they will earn rewards for those vulnerabilities.
One of the concerns with this type of approach is that essentially you're inviting attacks. I assume it's legal to do this type of testing, for your testers, because it's like kind of a game here that's being played. Do you ever have a problem where the value of the compromised thing that is discovered outweighs the bounty that's being offered?
That's a very good question. It's a valid concern for many businesses. I think in this case, what we normally offer is that business can do what we call a private reward program, where in this case, we only invite a limited number of testers that we know and have a track record with. But I think that the much bigger question that is important to ask is that a lot of these sites are already under attack and are constantly being examined by malicious users who are looking for ways to kind of exploit vulnerabilities. You're already attracting these users, and I think that's what we're seeing with the various exchanges and wallets being hacked. Secondly, a hacker were interested in doing malicious activity. It will simply not be a very good strategy for them to sign up with our service. They could just go straight ahead and start poking around with the site and trying to exploit some of these vulnerabilities.
So you're saying that the penetration testing is happening really one way or the other. It's just that one way it only is happening for evil purposes, and in this way it might, some of it is going towards helpful purposes.
That's simply correct. I mean, all the sites are already under attack. Basically, what a bug bounty program or reward program really does is that it provides an alternative for a lot of these testers to not do malicious activity with potential vulnerabilities, but giving them kind of a lawful way of earning rewards and reporting these vulnerabilities to the business.
On Bitcoin specifically, Bitcoin and online wallets, there's a saying, secure web wallet. You get two of those words, but not three, which implies that if you want a secure wallet, it can't be online enabled. I've referred to online wallet sites kind of like piñatas, where the more people who use the service, the higher the price of Bitcoin, the greater the prize for whoever breaks it open. Do you think that it's possible, given the type of reward that these wallet services have, to actually have safe and secure, really like trustworthy and secure online web wallets?
In general, I don't think that anywhere you're able to get 100% security on your wallet, neither in the physical world or on the digital world. And we still see banks getting robbed even today. So it's an illusion that you will ever get 100% security. What we should see is that businesses, as they grow and have a larger user base, that the reward size increases, and because they will be more serious about their security. So if you look at, for example, Google and Microsoft these days, they are paying between $20,000 and $100,000 for very serious vulnerabilities, which gives a huge incentives for testers and the whole security community to improve their security and report these vulnerabilities. And I think we will be expecting, as kind of the Bitcoin market and the Bitcoin space is maturing, that more and more exchanges will start running these reward programs and that the rewards will increase. So I think from a user perspective, if I'm a user, I would use a wallet service or an exchange that actively have a reward program, and you can kind of measure how good their security is in terms of how high the rewards are they're paying out. Because the higher the rewards are, the more confident they are about their own security, and the more they are kind of asking for the security community to help them improve their security.
So if somebody is interested in learning more about your service or contacting you guys, what is the way to do that?
We are always reachable by email. You can find our emails on the site, which is crowdcurity.com. And anybody can reach out to us with questions. We are more than happy to answer.
Okay, and last question. Again, we don't have security experts too often on the show, and I am curious, how do you store your cryptocurrencies? Or, what do you think is the right balance between security and convenience?
Okay, I think that is a very good question. And I think really what you're pointing out is that there is a trade-off between convenience and security. I weighed it out. I only store all my Bitcoins in online wallets, but I never have more than 25 Bitcoins in any wallet. And those are spread across, at the moment, 4 different wallet providers spread out across the world. That's, of course, a trade-off between having your Bitcoins in an online wallet compared to offline wallets. The reason why I chose for going with online wallets is that basically for the last 2.5 years, I've been traveling around the world and I'm losing stuff and I'm only having my bag with me. So it's not very convenient for me I don't have a physical place simply where I can stuff in my online wallet or my hardware where my online wallet would be. So I need something that is convenient and out there in the internet somewhere.
Have you ever lost any like that?
So far, that has not happened. But of course, I look very carefully at the providers that I store my Bitcoins with. And let me put it this way, that if they cannot provide two-factor authentication, I would not use it from a user perspective.
Right, I understand.
Okay, so that was basically how I treat Bitcoins in my personal life and my personal Bitcoins, where I weigh in on the side of having greater flexibility and convenience in terms of online wallets. So how we treat Bitcoins in CrowdCurity is very different. First of all, we don't hold a lot of Bitcoins. The Bitcoins we do hold are in the amount of 5 to 10 Bitcoins. And we use those mainly to pay out rewards for testers. And we buy them kind of in every time that we need to pay out rewards in Bitcoins and then basically use them straight away. So we never hold any large balances of Bitcoins. So once we are in the range of 5 to 10 Bitcoins, we do hold those in online wallets. We go for the most secure online wallets that we can find out there.
You pay the bounties in Bitcoin. What's the average size of a bounty that you're paying these days?
All the bounties are listed in dollars, but we do have clients where the bounties are listed in Bitcoins. And of course, in these Bitcoin bounties, we pay those out in Bitcoins as well. So kind of pure Bitcoin programs. The bounties are kind of categorized into high, medium, and low, where kind of the standard package for high, medium, low is $1,000 for a high reward and $300 for medium and $50 for low. So that would amount into whatever the exchange rate is for Bitcoins at the moment that we pay out the rewards. That's the Bitcoin part of it. So I think at the moment it's around half of all our rewards that are paid out in Bitcoins, and the other half are paid out in dollars via PayPal or wire transfer.
Do you prefer Bitcoin relative to the other options?
Of course, from our point of view, it's a lot easier to pay out in Bitcoins because, we can do it a lot faster and there are lower fees. So we are trying to kind of get all our testers to accept Bitcoins. But of course, in order to attract testers, some testers would simply prefer having them in dollars. So we try to push for them accepting Bitcoins, and that also lowers the fee and we can pay out the rewards faster. And I must say that the reason why we have been able to pay out around half of our rewards at this point to testers and Bitcoins is kind of our target group, or the security testers are kind of very tech oriented and of course are early adopters of Bitcoins. So, as over time, I expect this number to increase.
Okay, great. Well, guys, thank you very much for your time. This was very educational, and I look forward to seeing more of these programs develop. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Have a good day.
Is the Bitcoin price in a bubble? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. Bitcoin video passes are on sale. Normally $75 for those paying in US funds. Visit bitcoinvideopass.com and spend only 0.1 to 0.2 Bitcoins, 0.12 Bitcoins at the time this was recorded, to access all the talks and panels from the October cryptocurrency conference. See how easy buying with Bitcoin can be and experience instant access as soon as you've paid without even reloading the page. Check it out at bitcoinvideopass.com.